How to be a better child. Uncommon to hear this. It's usually how to be a better parent, or a better man, or a better woman, better singer, or better cook, blah blah blah. Okay, let's get on to it. Hi everybody, again this is John. If you're watching this video, either you're curious about this or you really want to improve your relationship with your parents. In the last video, I talked about how to be a better parent and the things parents need to consider and do. So, to be fair, I'm going to talk about how to be a better child, or son, or daughter. All of us grow up, or are still growing up, under the care and guidance of our parents, or parental figures like teachers, uncles, aunts, neighbors, some superhero. Many of us have the luxury of having two parents. Many of us don't have the luxury of having two parents. I don't, at some stages in my life. So I live with what I have. Some have good parents, some have bad parents, some have missing parents. Sorry about that. I apologize for those of us who have awful childhood growing up. It's not easy, and it's definitely something we rather leave behind. In one of my earlier videos, I shared a first-time trip to Cambodia. Back then, I visited an orphanage and some villages. What I learned is that many of the children in the orphanage and the villages there do not know their parents or have missing parents. They do not have the luxury of growing up with their parents around. At some point of time, we tend to think we have no choice with the parents we are with. How they look, how they behave, how they talk, the way they eat, the way they dig their nose. But that doesn't mean it's the end of the story for us. Like us, our parents are still growing and learning, whether they like it or not. Here's the thing we need to understand. It is not easy for our parents to raise us. Parents sacrifice their time, money, and freedom to ensure we have the best possible childhood. Be it a comfortable house, good food, great toys, fantastic schools, and other stuff. Parents could have done other things. They could have lived their dreams, or pursued their passion, or waste their lives without any other concerns. But no, the moment they have you, or us, as their children, they decided to devote just about all their resources into you, us, their children. Okay, not all parents are that way, but generally you look around and you can find parents who would tell you they do just about anything for their children. There is also something about parents I want to share with you about. As I mentioned, sometimes we think we have no choice with the parents we are with. We wonder if so and so are our parents, or if my parents are disgustingly rich, or if my parents are like Superman and Friends, that would be so much better. You ever wonder why our parents are the way they are? Or why can't they be better? Our parents learn what they had in their time. Sometimes they don't have all the answers. They, like us, learn along the way. I give an analogy. A multiple choice question usually has 4 to 5 answers. Imagine this multiple choice question only has 2, and they are not the actual correct answers. That's the case with many of our parents. They only have 2 at that point of time, and they were never taught there were 2 or 3 more answers given. So that's how they operate their lives. So before we start blaming our parents for the stuff they cannot do, we should see that they themselves didn't have much choice either. And if we do happen to have the missing 2 or 3 answers our parents were never taught, that's not a cue for us to be smug and tell them about it. Instead, we can start looking at the things our parents did which we should be appreciative for. Like how they chose to cook food for us instead of skipping a meal, how they chose to spend time with us instead of doing their own things, how they bought things for us even though they might not have enough money for themselves, how they stood up for us when we were unjustly treated, when they attended our graduation, when they witnessed our first presentation in school, when they bought that expensive Christmas present. Even if our parents did not do any of these things that I mentioned, it doesn't mean they don't love us. I give an example. In Singapore context, parents express their love and concern for their children by asking, have they eaten? Or cooking more than enough so the children can eat more. Being able to eat is a sign of wealth and health. So what can we do to be a better child to our parents? After what I have shared, and if you feel any pain your parents have went through to take care of you, that is the first step to being a better child to them. Being aware of the sacrifices our parents made for us. With that in mind, I'm sure you have many ideas popping up, like spending more time with parents. This is the easiest and simplest, yet most effective idea. You can also buy food for them or gifts, or write a card if you are cash strapped. You can also bring them out. The main thing is to let them know they are in your mind. For some of us, our parents can be stubborn or have the uncanny ability to get on our nerves. So one good way to negate that is to divert attention to something else. If that doesn't work, just smile. Some parents are funny in their ways, so have fun with them in their world. Make it memorable for them. It is also helpful if you're funny in your own way. I give an example. My parents watched a particular show based on a novel. In that scene, one of the characters made a comment while taking up his sword. He said something like, "If this works, let the blade split the rock into half." And he split the rock into half. I straight away told my parents that the rock is innocent, he was minding his own business and he got cut. For some of us whose parents are none of what I described so far, meaning they do not give many fond memories to you, it can be difficult to even try to be a good child to them, let alone be a better one. If your parents are in this category, approaching them can be daunting, especially when even seeing them can trigger unhappy memories. But you taking the step to even approach them is commendable. You taking the step to approach them is your effort in building the relationship between you and your parents. You taking the step to approach them is you moving on from whatever past bad experiences you had with your parents. Another simple way to be a better child is not to make them worry. I believe this is a common situation for all of us when our parents have valid concerns about us, such as, when are you getting married? Have you found a job? Are you eating well? You have a place to stay? And so on and so forth. It is natural for parents to worry over these things. So a simple way is to assure them that you have a plan. But you also have to be practical. You can't say I'm going to get a girlfriend, boyfriend within a week, or I have sent 1,000 resumes. You get what I mean? It's not convincing to them. There are so many ways you can try to be a better child to your parents. I believe you have better ideas than me. What I'm trying to say is that to even start on all this, you have to know the why and be convinced by it. No one else can tell you to be one. Only you alone can convince yourself to be a better child to your parents. Your parents will know by then. So what do you think of the video? Is there anything you picked up that can help you? Do feel free to comment or share your own experiences in being a better child to your parents. To end this video, I have this quote for you to think about. So see you around next time.